Hello, beautiful people. It's Katarina here with Truth Talks TV, because the truth is sexy and getting naked is fun. And today I wanted to share with you a term that I've actually heard recently, and I see it happening a lot within myself and in other people, and that is what is called spiritual bypassing. What is that exactly? Well, I'm also still exploring this term and what it actually means, but I've noticed that, very often we can use, spiritual concepts, ideas, sort of, this consciousness, awareness to actually bypass our truth or what we're feeling or our current experience. Take, for example, I'll give you an example. This isn't my own story. This is an example from a friend. And let's say that your parents passed away when you were quite young, both of them, when you were in your 20s, And now it's many years later, like 20 years later, and you maybe see it from a higher perspective, like the spiritual kind of being this more expansive, more love perspective, that okay, my parents, if they could have chosen differently, they would have, or truly loving them regardless of what happened, forgiving them for having left you, young, pretty young, let's say, or the fact that you can maybe understand and grasp that you as a soul, came into this world to experience certain things. So seeing that, this is just something I have chosen to experience, to lose my parents at a young age. And that is all beautiful, and that is all true, and that is all very good. To be able to see that, to move, past the maybe more limited perspective and see it from a more expansive, love-infused perspective of, yeah, okay, I accept this, and I forgive them, or it's just the way it needed to be. That can be very liberating and beautiful and good. And that does not exclude us from actually feeling what we truly feel right now. Because spirituality is not to make separate, but to see it all as good and beautiful and love. So if we're denying aspects of ourselves, and maybe anger that we feel, or resentment that we feel, or what we maybe, somewhere deep within us, we feel some negativity towards something or a situation, and to just push that away or push that aside and just try to jump ahead to sort of the more spiritual way of looking at it, we're actually separating, we're actually not loving ourselves, and we're making ourselves separate within. Like we're separating the aspects of ourselves that we don't want to look at, and not being honest with ourselves in the moment. Yeah, it's like we're multidimensional beings. Like, yes, you can see this higher way of looking at it, this higher perspective, and really believe it, and really, take it as your own. But I think that only as we truly move through the maybe lower, vibrational energies, or the lower things that we're feeling, can we actually truly embody the higher. We can't just bypass what we truly are feeling right now. We are still, we are spiritual beings, so that's why we're able to see the higher perspective, but we're also still having a human experience, so we can't just jump over that. We can't just avoid it. We can't just bypass it. We can only by truly loving and accepting, seeing, being aware of those other things that we might feel. You know, maybe again, if taking this example of your parents dying, maybe you feel anger towards them. Maybe you feel resentment. Like, why did you leave me? How could you leave me like that? You know, I'm angry at you. I'm mad at you. And it takes great, you know, I think, courage and love towards self and towards your soul and towards your experience to actually admit that, fully feel it, accept it, express it, whatever it is that needs to happen. But please don't just bypass it and ignore it and avoid it and pretend it's not there. Because no matter how much, you know, you want to try and transcend, it's only by the actual experiencing of what we feel right now can we actually then alchemize it and turn it into, you know, something beautiful. So loving ourselves, you know, being spiritual is to actually love ourselves right now and all that we are and all that we feel now in our current human experience. Yeah, there's probably way more to say about that, but I'll just leave it at that for now. So if you want to hear more from me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow or like, I don't like the word follow so much, but like my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/truthprovocateur, or you can sign up for my list on my website, www.katarinaillig.com, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Ciao.